I met her when I had nothing. No money, no job, no friends left. I was surviving off instant noodles, wearing the same 3 shirts every week, and praying each night that life would somehow change. Then she came. Her name was Emily. And she wasn't just beautiful, she was everything I never thought I deserved. She had a degree from a top university, a rich father, a car of her own, and 100 people who wanted her attention. Yet, somehow, she chose me. She said, "You don't need to have it all. I just want someone who won't give up on love." I believed her. For the first time in years, I started believing in myself again. I started dreaming again, not for money, not for fame, but to build a future with her. She used to hold my hand and say, "One day, they'll all know your name, and I'll be right beside you." I started a small online business, failed. Then tried selling clothes on Instagram, failed. Third attempt. I borrowed money from a friend, failed again, but Emily stayed. She wiped my tears, cooked dinner when I had no energy, and smiled even when I wanted to quit. "You're not a failure," she whispered every night, but deep down, I knew she deserved better. Then came the day everything changed. One morning, I went to her place without calling, wanted to surprise her. Her door was unlocked. I walked in and saw her laughing on a video call with someone else, a guy, shirtless, calling her babe. She didn't even see me standing there. I stood like a ghost, listening to her say the same words she once said to me. "I just want someone who won't give up on love." That day, something inside me died. But something else was born. That night, I packed my bags, left the city, and promised myself one thing. I will become everything they said I couldn't. Not for her, but for me. After I left the city, I stayed with my cousin in a small town. No noise, no distractions, just silence, and my thoughts. At first, I couldn't sleep. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face, Emily smiling at someone else. I kept thinking, was I not enough? Was I just her charity case? Did she ever really love me? But pain is a strange thing. It either destroys you, or builds a fire inside you so strong, even the world can't stop you. I chose the fire. I started working 12 hours a day, no breaks, no distractions. At a local cafe during the day. At night, I freelanced online, editing videos, writing scripts, designing websites. I barely had enough energy to eat, but the hunger inside me wasn't for food. It was for redemption. I didn't want revenge. I wanted transformation. In 6 months, I saved enough to move to another city. In a year, I had clients from 3 countries. In 2 years, I opened my own creative agency. And in the 3rd year, I became a millionaire. Not overnight, not easily, but through blood, sweat, and sleepless nights. Still, I never posted anything online. I disappeared from social media, changed my number, changed my life, until one day, an unknown number texted me. "Hey, I saw your name in a business magazine. Is this really you?" I didn't reply, but the next day, I received another message. This time, a photo. It was Emily, standing at a bus stop, holding a baby, looking tired, alone. She sent one word, "Sorry." I froze. My fingers hovered over the screen. So many emotions, rushed in: anger, sadness, confusion. What did she want now? A second chance, or just forgiveness? Then another text came in. "Can I talk to you?" Just once. I didn't reply, but I couldn't sleep that night, so I opened her social media. She was back in our old town. No signs of luxury, no car, no fancy life, just her and the baby. Whose child was it? I had no answers, but I knew this. I wasn't the same man she left behind, and she wasn't the same woman I once loved. Still, some stories don't end in silence. Sometimes, fate demands closure, so I replied with just 2 words, "Tomorrow, 5 p.m. Little did I know, what was waiting for me would change everything again. The next day, at exactly 5 p.m., I reached the cafe I had texted her. It was the same place where we once had coffee on rainy evenings, but now, the air felt heavier. I sat at a corner table, watching the door. And then she walked in. Emily. But not the Emily I remembered. She looked tired. Her eyes carried stories I hadn't heard, pain I hadn't seen, and in her arms was a baby girl. Maybe 1, maybe 2 years old. Our eyes met. She walked slowly, sat down across from me, and said nothing for almost a full minute. I broke the silence. "Whose child is that?" She swallowed hard. "Mine," she whispered. "And his?" I looked away. Something inside me cracked. She continued. "After you left, I thought I was moving up in life. I thought marrying him, Daniel, was the right step. He had money, influence, everything, but I didn't know. He had darkness too." Her hands trembled. "He started drinking, hitting, controlling everything I did. After I got pregnant, he got worse. He said the baby would ruin his life. One day, he left, just disappeared. No goodbye, no help, no support." Tears rolled down her face. She wasn't pretending. "I wanted to reach you so many times," she said, "but I didn't know how. I heard about your success. I saw your photo in that magazine, and I broke down. Because you became everything I said you wouldn't." I stayed silent. I didn't come here for apologies. She looked at me and said, I'm not here to ask for money or sympathy. I just wanted to say, I'm sorry for everything. I was young, stupid, blind. The cafe felt colder now. I finally spoke. You destroyed me, Emily. You made me feel like I was never enough. She nodded, tears in her eyes. I know, and I'll live with that guilt forever. But, can I ask for one thing? I looked at her. Can you hold her? Just once. She's never met someone gentle, someone who smiles. I hesitated, but then, I reached out. The baby looked at me with innocent eyes. No judgment, no past, just purity. I held her, and something inside me healed a little. Emily wiped her tears and stood up. I'll leave now, she said. Thank you for listening. As she turned to walk away, the baby looked back and gave me the tiniest smile. For a second, I felt peace, but I knew this story wasn't finished yet, because the past always finds a way back, especially when you least expect it. And what came next was something none of us were prepared for. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept thinking about her words, her tears, and that child's innocent face. She didn't ask for help. She didn't beg for forgiveness. She just confessed. It made everything harder. The next morning, as I sat in my office, lost in thought, my phone buzzed. A private number. I answered. A deep voice said, "Is this Noah?" "Yes, I'm Daniel, Emily's husband." Or ex. I guess my heart stopped. He continued. "I heard you met her, and my daughter." My voice was calm but cold. "What do you want?" "I want to meet, man to man. Today, just for 10 minutes. I paused. Where? He named a restaurant just outside the city. Out of curiosity or maybe anger, I agreed. At 6 p.m., I arrived. Daniel was already there. Tall, expensive suit, but his face had that arrogant smirk I remembered. He lit a cigarette and said, "You really became something. Rich, powerful, the underdog who made it." I didn't speak. He leaned forward. "Let me guess. She told you everything, made herself the victim. But I'm the bad guy." I stared at him. "Are you denying it?" He laughed. "I'm not denying it. I just don't care. I never loved her. She was fun, and the baby, an accident I never asked for." I clenched my fists under the table. He smirked. "Now that you're successful, I bet she thinks she can get something out of you. Money, protection, maybe even love again." "Stop," I said. My voice was firm, but he kept going. "You know what's funny? You worked your whole life to become rich, and I was born into it, yet somehow, I still ended up with your girl." I stood up. My blood was boiling. "Enjoy your empty life," I said, "because one day, even your money won't protect you from your past." He raised his glass. "Cheers to that." I left without looking back. I had no plans to meet Emily again, but fate had other ideas. That same night, I got a call from a hospital. Emily was admitted. She had collapsed while walking home with the child. When I reached there, I saw her on the hospital bed, pale and weak. "Dehydration and exhaustion," the doctor said, "but she'll recover." The baby was crying in a corner. I picked her up. She held on to me tightly. That moment changed something inside me. I looked at Emily. She opened her eyes and whispered. I didn't know who else to call. "I'm here," I replied softly. "And I'm not going anywhere." That night, I sat by her hospital bed. The little girl, her daughter, was asleep in my lap. Her small fingers wrapped around mine. Emily slowly turned her head toward me. "I don't deserve this kindness," she said softly. "I didn't come here for you," I replied. "I came for her." Tears streamed down her face. "I don't expect forgiveness. I just wanted you to know. I never stopped regretting what I did. Every day, I wished I had chosen you. Not money, not status, just you." I didn't say anything. I simply looked at her, thinking about the years I spent hurting, alone, building myself from the ground up, carrying the weight of betrayal. She reached for my hand. "I don't want you to take me back. But I need to ask, will you be part of her life? She deserves someone better than me." I looked down at the little girl. She had Emily's eyes, but her smile, that reminded me of myself. Pure, gentle, unbroken. "I'll do what's best for her," I said. Emily closed her eyes and whispered, "Thank you." 2 weeks later, Emily was discharged. She moved into a small apartment outside the city. I made sure she had enough to live, not luxuriously but safely. I enrolled her daughter, Leela, in a good school. Every weekend, I picked her up. We played, we laughed. She called me Uncle Noah. One day, while dropping her back home, Emily waited at the door. "You've done more for us than anyone ever has," she said. I nodded. She added, "If I hadn't hurt you back then, do you think we could have had a happy life together?" I looked at her for a long moment. "Maybe," I said, "but you destroyed that version of us the day you chose someone else." She lowered her gaze. "And now?" she asked. I shook my head. "Now I'm someone else. I have a different life, a different heart, and you're just a memory I finally made peace with." She smiled faintly. "That's fair." 2 years later, Leela stood beside me in a white dress. It was her school's talent day. She sang her favorite song off-key, nervous, but brave, and when she finished, she ran down the stage and hugged me tightly. "I love you," she said. I bent down, kissed her forehead, and replied, "I love you too." As I looked around the crowd, I saw Emily sitting at a distance, smiling, with tears in her eyes. She didn't come near. She didn't need to, because now, I wasn't the broken man she left. I was the man I was meant to become. And sometimes, the best revenge is not revenge at all. It's rising so high that the people who hurt you can only look up and realize what they lost.